So the chapter that I have written together with Carl Wennberg and Robert Demir is about digitalization in Swedish manufacturing firms. And what we've done is we conducted a survey, sending it out to around 1,200 companies and receiving over 200 responses. And what we're looking at in the survey is really what kind of digitalization activities are going on and the level of activity in the digitalization area or the digitalization realm in these companies. A couple of patterns are emerging from our analysis. One is that there's a clear division amongst these firms. There are digital leaders and digital laggards. And quite clearly so, one set of firms that are much more progressive, one which is much more conservative. So the first question, of course, is or the challenge that we have for the laggards is that they need to consider whether being more conservative is the appropriate route for them, or if they're taking risks by not being progressive enough in their activities. The second thing we're seeing is that in terms of where the attention and effort is directed, is that a lot of companies are more focused on process improvements, incremental or more ambitious process improvements and automation in processes, whereas they are less focused on new products and new services that are digitally enabled. And here we also see a potential risk that this implies a more conservative approach, where again some companies that are more innovative and more aggressive in terms of developing new products and services may also be more disruptive of current industries or current status quo situations. The other area where we're seeing a distinct difference is that most companies are still more active in the product area than they are in analytics. So in terms of big data or using analytics to change how you operate your business is probably underemphasized by many of the companies in our sample. And that's something that also needs to be considered if you're looking at this from a practitioner point of view. And finally, we're seeing very high ambition levels going forward, looking at the next 2 years for many firms in our sample. But we're not sure whether that ambition level will be matched by activity and performance. And the primary reason there is that we're not necessarily seeing the same level of managerial attention and investment in knowledge acquisition and cross-functional teams to enable the ambition level to actually play out and be transformed into higher performance in the companies.